Hello and welcome. This is Cherie with Rehash Fiber, and today I have for you a really fun rigid Heddle Loom project. You can make a scarf or a cowl, whatever length you like. And this pattern here was originally designed by Susan Fricks for the 4-harness loom. However, we can do it on the rigid Heddle. What I want you to know is that you can warp whatever length you would like. So if you know you prefer scarves or cowls, warp for that. Now, in following what Susan Fricks did, I went ahead and warped 72 inches because her idea was for a cowl. And I wanted to see how that would work out. So let's go over to the loom right now, and I'm going to show you how this works out on the rigid Heddle. Here I want to show you the warped up loom. This is a wonderful spring scarf to do. When you are warping it, you are going to fill 4 slots, leave 4 slots blank, fill 4, 4 blank, so on across. You can make it the scarf as wide as you want. I chose 10 inches. You can go smaller, larger. So when you've loaded your 4 slots, there's actually 2 strands in each one, which is going to give you 8 strands to work with. Because as you finish warping, you're going to have 1 in your eye, 1 in your slot. So as you can see, I've started working the pattern along here. The designer calls it a window pane pattern. Yes, it is. It is very lovely, very light and airy. To start it, once you have it warped and you have some of your waste yarn in, you're going to go ahead and weave 8 rows. Then you're going to skip for 1/2 inch, which is what you can see right here that I have done. Now I'm just working my way up, doing 8 rows, skipping 1/2 inch, 8 rows. So I'm going to show you, I'm to the point where we're skipping 1/2 inch. Now in the beginning I was measuring 1/2 inch, now I'm just eyeballing it. It doesn't really matter if it's exact or not. One thing I did learn though is that instead of just dragging this yarn up 1/2 inch because it was pulling on each of these wefts, I'm wrapping it a couple times. You see right here? That way, you'd see there's that little bit of pull, but it's not as bad as before when it wasn't wrapped. I'm going to go ahead and go up my 1/2 inch space. I am going to just wrap the yarn a couple of times to prevent the drag. This is totally your option. You can do it or not do it. You can do it once, you can do it twice. It's just what was working for me. Now I'm just going to guess. We need to go here to the read up position. I'm going to guess about 1/2 inch. I think these ended up being a little bit more. It doesn't really much matter. This one you do not need to tamp down because it is set where you want it to be. I'm going to put the reed in the lower position. I'm going to come back across here. Remember, don't tug on it. You don't want your sides to pull in. And don't daydream and end up tugging, because I ended up doing that. Like, what was I thinking? Well, I wasn't. I was daydreaming. Okay, now when you tamp down, you're going to go very gently, because what you don't want to do is push this one. You're going to come fairly close, gently tap it back to the up position. If there's a gap, we're going to fix that later. We're going to go across for 6 more times so that we have the total of 8. Very gentle. This one you can tap a little bit more because that second one is holding things in place. You get the idea here. We're just going back and forth. It's very fun because those spaces end up helping you move right along in the project. So we have 2 more to do. And now we have our 8. And take a little peek at it, get things the way I want them. I have my lovely comb here from Stephen Willett. The wood is sensational. I'm just going to raise my last strand there so it's not so far away from the other ones. You can use your fingers too. Get it looking nice. And there you go. We are ready now to take another 1/2 inch space and carry on. So here we have the finished item. I have not yet attached my ends as a cowl. I'm still deciding if I want to use it as a short scarf or a cowl. That's yet to be determined. What I have noticed when I was working with it is that the window pane effect, now that the tension is off the fibers, is kind of mushing. The fibers are sliding a little bit. Totally fine, because what we're going for is a lovely springtime airy scarf or cowl, and we surely have it right here. Very fun to do, quite easy. All right, you can take a little bit closer look here. And I went ahead and twisted the ends just to have that nice finished look. And I think this is, I think it was really fun. For me to achieve my 72-inch warp, I used, for the total project, 225 yards of yarn. I just have one last thing to follow up on. You all are amazing. When I spoke about all the children's items, the patterns and sweaters and blankets and stuff, I asked for help finding the actual pattern for the cow sweater, because all I had were those printed sheets that are 27 years old and in rough shape, and I wanted the actual pattern for me and to share it with you. I put out the notice on Instagram, and sure enough, within one day, somebody had located the pattern. It is in a magazine from Fildar, Spring and Summer, 1993. The actual number is magazine number 229. Now, it was available on Etsy, but it is sold out. So at least I know where it's located, but I'm still actually looking to purchase that magazine in English. So we're one step closer. If you know how I can get it, anybody might have it, let me know. I want to purchase it and have that. So that is the good bit of information for today. And the last thing I want to tell you about is Patreon. If you enjoy the show, go to rehashfiber.com, check out supporting members. You can support the show. Every little bit helps. All right, everybody. Happy weaving your spring scarf or cowl. Thanks for watching.